What's up guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Beauty Bakerie InstaBake Aqua Glass Foundation and 3-in-1 Concealer. There have been so many foundation launches lately, right? Like, does anybody else feel that way? And among all of them, between what I've seen from the brands themselves and the reviews I've seen here on YouTube, I haven't really been interested in picking any of them up. None of them have really appealed to me until I was on Ulta's website and I saw that Beauty Bakerie had launched something new and it promises to give you glass skin. So I'm still pretty new to the glass skin trend. In fact, before picking this up, I hadn't really thought of it as being more a makeup trend. I thought of it as being more of a skincare trend, just getting really glowy, hydrated looking, fresh feeling skin through these skincare elements that you use. But this hot little combo kind of made it feel like you could get glass skin and also some coverage and also have it last all day. So my interest was piqued. It actually felt like something new out there, and so I got them. The shades that I picked up are 343N. It's a tad bit deep for me now, although I'm still pretty impressed with how I was able to shade match myself online since I ordered both of these online. And the difference in tone, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I'm about to go on vacation where I will, fingers crossed, get a little bit of sun. So eventually I think it will be a perfect match. Then in the concealer, I got 015 Mad Batter, and this is a perfect match. Even if I do tan a little bit more here at the end of summer, I think this is still going to be great as a concealer slash highlight combo. So these are both exclusive to Ulta. I think you might be able to get them on the Beauty Bakerie website as well. But other than that, it's ulta.com, or I think they're actually going to have a display of these if you want to go shade match for it yourself. Because I know part of the reason I haven't tried the original foundation Beauty Bakerie has is because I don't know of any stores I can walk into and shade match myself, even though I ended up buying this online. I don't know, I can't explain it. But still good news for anyone who, after watching this video, wants to go try it. You can actually go get shade matched in person. And now let's get into each specific formula. So here is the box that the foundation came in. Super cute. I rarely point out packaging because so often it's just like another box, but Beauty Bakerie always goes kind of above and beyond with their packaging, I think. Looks like a standard box, but then you open it up and there's a little display window where the foundation sits and a holographic whisk right there. On the side, it has the benefits. It says, inspired by the elegance and minimalistic approach to beauty that Japan is known for, this lightweight vegan foundation is a force to be reckoned with. It says with this name, InstaBake, it promises full coverage with a formula that effortlessly covers anything and promises to deliver extraordinary performance, applying smoothly like a layer of frosting. And when I read that at first, before having ever tried this, I thought it might be on the thicker side of things. When I think of frosting, at least any kind of frosting that I like to eat, it's on the thicker side of things. This is very thin, however. It's almost like a serum-y foundation. Maybe not, I wouldn't go so far as to call it a serum, but definitely on the thinner side of things as far as foundations go. And because of that, I quickly found out that a brush is not my preferred method of application. I find I have to use more of it. The brush that you'll see me use in the demo here is the new Real Techniques Brush Crush. This is the 01 foundation brush. And while I do like, when I built it up, it gave me a ton of coverage, but it really gave me a full matte coverage look, which is very much the opposite of what I think of and what glass skin is supposed to be, I believe. So I did something I rarely do, and I actually went in with my beauty blender, damp beauty blender, and that's how I have it applied here today. You can see this in the demo as well, and this is definitely the way I prefer to apply it. Dampening the beauty blender prevents it from absorbing all of the extra products. You just get very thin but buildable layers, and that's when I really noticed it being dewy and glowy and healthy looking, but still getting that nice full coverage that the foundation promises. And this is really one of the first foundations that I've noticed a huge difference in application methods, like it wearing one way when applied with a sponge versus wearing a totally different way applied with a brush. But I definitely prefer the way it applies and even wears throughout the day when I use a sponge. The coverage is very layerable, like surprisingly layerable given the texture of the foundation. I just really thought it was going to take a lot to build it up and get coverage. Like, I'm currently having breakouts all along my jawline here, and I thought it covered up that discoloration pretty well. And again, depending on how you apply it, I think you're going to get more natural, dewy full coverage if you apply it with a sponge versus a brush, which is going to, I think it looks a little bit heavier and it definitely looks more matte when you layer it up, but not in a bad way. I just think it's a preference kind of thing. The wear time of this is pretty excellent, I think. No matter how I applied it, I didn't really notice any sinking into fine lines, breaking apart throughout the day. Even when I applied it with a more dewy finish using a sponge, it still set pretty well. Little bit of, like tackiness isn't the right word, but just not drying down to a totally powder finish like it does when I use a brush. But still, it still stays in place throughout the whole day without looking like I'm a disaster, especially in the center of my face, because for reference, I am a combo skin type down the center. So I tend to produce excess oil there. It can occasionally break up my makeup if I don't apply the right skincare or set, or I'm just using the wrong foundation. And then on the other hand, I am drier around the perimeter, so I have to be careful to choose something that isn't going to cake up and emphasize any texture I might have there. But this checked all those boxes for me. I thought it did really well throughout the day, and it feels so lightweight. I think in a huge part due to that really thin, almost watery sort of texture. It just feels like I'm wearing nothing, which is awesome. Now about the whole glass skin thing. Like I said, I am not a pro on this. I've definitely done a lot of research into looking at what it is, what it's supposed to look like on the face. And from what I've seen, it's supposed to be this ultra glowy, fresh face, like so glowy and high shine dewy that it almost looks like it's not sustainable for longer than like 5 minutes, at least on my combo skin anyway. Am I alone here? So when I saw that this dries down pretty matte when you use a brush and still maintains like a slight little bit of glow to the skin when you use a sponge, I was kind of surprised. Like I would not say this will give you the glass skin that you see whenever you Google glass skin skincare routine or anything like that. I think you have to do a lot more highlighting or maybe add a drop of oil to your skincare. I actually noticed that when I know I'm going to use this, I will use a little bit more of an oil under my face makeup as kind of a primer and an extra hydrator just to make sure this has as much glow potential as possible. But I wouldn't say that this foundation alone gives you the glass skin you might think of when you hear glass skin. And don't get me wrong, I really like this. I'm gonna keep on wearing it and probably will actually take it on vacation with me because it's gonna be outdoors, like hiking in jungly, humid sort of weather around beaches and stuff. Places where I might want to wear makeup and maybe even makeup that is fuller coverage, but I don't wanna feel like I'm wearing, you know, layers upon layers of stuff on my face. And this I think is gonna feel really fresh. So I would totally recommend this, especially if everything that I've talked about just now sounds appealing to you. Just don't count on it giving you like high shine, glassy skin. Now let's talk about the concealer. The InstaBake 3-in-1 concealer. Here is the packaging for that. Not quite as complex as the foundation, but still super cute. So this says full coverage concealer, 1 smooth, 2 conceal, 3 contour. For starters, love the applicator here. I've never seen any other concealer like this where it is a full on cone shape. I like it because it gives you a good amount of product in here. There's no well that you kind of have this product hanging out in that you can never really fully get out until you dip it back in. Like you can get all your product up in here and it's a precise end to really get in your inner corner or around your nose, wherever it is you like to apply your concealer. And it's a surprisingly thicker consistency. Like I would almost put this up there with a Tarte Shape Tape. A little bit thinner than that, but nowhere near as thin as the foundation, which is what I was expecting after having tried this, given that they're in the same kind of family. But it's much thicker and creamier, but still a dream to blend, and it gives really great full coverage. Like anytime I feel like I have under applied when it comes to this foundation, I will go and over top with this concealer, and I am so glad I didn't over apply with the foundation because the coverage is perfect. And I think these consistencies are very complementary because sometimes I feel like my skin texture comes through the foundation a little bit more, whereas once I go in with the concealer, sometimes I have little raised, not even raised, just like textured looking skin in my under eye area. And once I put this on and really blend it out, it is like, I mean, ultra smooth, poreless looking, textureless skin right there. So beautiful. Again, reminds me a whole lot of Tarte Shape Tape, but isn't quite as heavy duty. It doesn't feel as heavy duty on the skin and I don't notice it. I would always have issues with it being a little bit too creasy, not in a cakey kind of way, but almost like it's so hydrating in my under eye area that it creases up. And I know other people have other people have had issues with dryness as opposed to creasing from hydration, but that's just been my experience and I haven't experienced that all with this InstaBake. It also says you can, you know, contour with this, so I think it would be a super beautiful way to really sculpt out your face. If you just wanted to get a couple shades of these for a really full coverage foundation, you could use this or a couple shades of this, dot it all around, blend it in, and have like a perfectly sculpted face. But this is the only shade I got, so I can really only speak to how it works as a concealer slash brightening shade for me, because like I said, it's on the lighter side, but I personally really like that because it doubles as that concealer and brightener in my under eye area and on the center of my face when I choose to use it there. Now this, I don't feel like I need to set on my skin. I know when I watched Cashmere, she did a video demoing the foundation, the concealer, and they also launched a spray with this as well, which unfortunately I don't have, but when she demoed these products, she did set her under eye, well, she set her whole face. So I think it just depends on your preference. If you tend to find that you need to set your makeup, then maybe give it a try with these, but I don't typically set my makeup. And I didn't find I had to with this either in order for it to last and go crease-free all day. Ultimately, I think this is an awesome product duo. It didn't give me the results that I expected, but I'm actually not mad at that. Like I said, I really love the consistency of this foundation and using it in conjunction with the concealer to just smooth out any of the texture I might have around my face. Like I just feel like it that creates this really beautiful finish to my skin. Not glass skin, but very natural looking, yet still pretty high coverage finish to my skin that just feels like I'm wearing nothing, which is great. And honestly, not something I can say for any other foundation I have. Like I've really been loving my, where is it? My Believe Beauty Skin Finish foundation. This does give a more dewy finish to the skin over these two, but it's definitely thicker, creamier, feels more like a foundation. The texture of the InstaBake is similar, I think, to the Marc Jacobs Remarkable, like that liquidy foundation, especially right when you first get it and it hasn't had time to thicken up. However, the Marc Jacobs, I think, looks a lot heavier on the skin as you start to layer it up. It feels very thin, but looks very heavy very quickly as you layer it up. And that's just not the case with this. So pretty impressed. Feel like it is truly something new and different out there, and definitely something I will continue to use. So I hope this video was helpful, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.